Are you single and ready for a real, lasting connection? Stop waiting. Start preparing for the love you deserve. Welcome to Singles Seeking Soulmate, Skool, the ultimate space for growth-minded singles who are serious about love, commitment, and building a future with the right partner. Men and women 25 plus looking to be relationship ready. Those with a growth mindset, eager to become their best self. Serious about commitment and marriage, financially stable and employed. Open to networking, friendship, and possible romance. Join Singles Seeking Soulmate Skool today and step into your best love-ready self. Contact me today for a free 30-day trial of Skool.
Actually, afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Easter. Okay, so happy Easter Sunday. I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. And I'm driving back from Charlottesville and just wanted to jump on and talk to you all today about finding friends. And I actually want feedback from folks who are going to join this live about opposite sex friends, because one of the things that I am noticing in the last 10 or so years is there is a lot of talk, a lot of negative talk about opposite sex friends. So if there is not talk about, from the red pill side, saying that women shouldn't have male friends, I'm hearing that a lot. There's also talk from the female side about women having women having guy friends, and I guess, just putting men in the friend zone. Like, we hear a lot of talk on both sides about that, the friend zone, right? Putting men in the friend zone. And I want to understand why some of us have these thoughts and beliefs about friendship, and seeing friendship or being friends as something that's negative. That's what I'm trying to understand. Why do we see friendship, if it's opposite sex friendship, we see that as a negative? I'm trying to understand what that's about. So if I have a guy friend and, another guy says, oh, well, who is this person to you? I'm like, yeah, that's my friend. And they're like, oh, so he's a beta male orbiter, or he's a guy who wants to sleep with you, but you turned him down, and so now he's a friend that is still waiting for the opportunity to sleep with you. And I'm thinking, no, he's a genuine friend. Like, what? So it's basically mired in this belief that men and women cannot be friends. So I'd love to know your thoughts about that. Can men and women be friends? Genuine friends, where there is no desire on either person's part to be sexual or to be romantic. Can men and women be friends? I guess that's the question I'm asking. Now, me being the person that I am, I would answer yes. And I would say it depends, right? It's going to depend on that man or that woman if they can be friends with someone of the opposite sex. And I mean a genuine friend. So think about some of the friends you've had. Think about some of the best friends you've had, and the ways that that person has shown up, the ways that that person has been a friend to you. Think about that, but think about it being someone of the opposite sex. So that person's been there for you. That person's, helped you in your darkest hour. That person's loaned you money. That person's helped you with your kids. That person's been there for you emotionally. Like, that person has been there for you. Think about that. Could that be a person of the opposite sex, where that person is just driving you to the airport when you need to go to the airport, or, being there, being a shoulder to cry on, right? Listening to you after a breakup, or you're going through something difficult, you have a health crisis. Could that person be a genuine friend to you. But I have noticed in the last 10 or so years that opposite sex friendships have become demonized. They've become villainized as being this horrible, you can't really be true friends with someone of the opposite sex. So I guess I just want to hear from some folks if you think that's true. Now, I will say this. I think women are able to separate better than men are. I think men, being who they are as a gender, I think it's harder for a man to truly separate a woman from her sexuality. And that makes me incredibly sad. So it makes me incredibly sad. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. I just know it makes me very sad. But most men, not all, most men do have a difficult time separating a woman from her sexuality. So for them, woman equals, so in their mind, if that person's female and the man is heterosexual, woman equals sex. Woman equals sexual access. Like, they don't see the value in a woman outside of sexual access. And that makes me very sad. Very, very, very sad. Because I don't believe any woman wants to be objectified in that way. I mean, I understand I have a vagina. I understand I have breasts, I have a behind and all of that, but I know I am more than the sum of those parts. I know I bring more value to people, to the world, outside of my breasts, my behind, and my vagina. So that personally makes me very sad when I think about that. But apparently, it's a thing. There's a percentage of men in the world that don't see past my vagina, my breasts, my behind. They don't see past that. They see a sexual opportunity. And I guess I want some feedback on that. Is that a guy thing? Is that something that we're going to chalk up to the male gender? Because as a woman, so here's what the guys would say in response to that. Well, the women see a man as a financial opportunity. So when they're thinking about men, they're thinking about what a man can do for them. They're thinking about a man's resources. They're thinking about a man helping them with their car and helping them cut the grass or get their leaves up. They're thinking about what a man can do for them. Okay, and that's fair. That is totally fair. I'm gonna propose that because that is fair. But outside of that, I do think women see beyond a man's sexuality. And let's go here, and I'm gonna say this. I think it's rare, but there are women who see beyond what a man can do for them. Right? So when I think about my guy friends, I just appreciate who they are. I appreciate who they are as people. I appreciate their different experience, their different worldview. I appreciate their different perspective on things, right? They give me a new perspective that I never had or never thought about. So I appreciate that. I appreciate some things about them and their nature. Are they helpful? Sure. And I appreciate that, but I'm not requiring that. I don't require that they do all these things and, show up in these ways that you all say, oh, your man should be doing that. Your man should be doing it. Because I actually value people. I genuinely value human beings. So whether they're male or whether they're female, I just value people. And I just wonder when did we get to this place where we're not doing that? We're not valuing people as human beings anymore. We now, like, gender, and don't get me wrong, gender has always been a thing. Sex differences have always been a thing. Yes, male, female, we've always had in my opinion, only two genders. There are only two genders. I hate to break it to you. But when did it get so polarized? Like now it's so polarized. We can't see past genitals. We cannot see people as people. And I believe it happened also when race relations, got to where they are, where we can't see past ethnicity or color or language or, we're now doing it when it comes to race. We're doing it when it comes to religion and ethnicity. So it's just we're getting further and further away. But I have always proposed, and I'm going to keep proposing, that we need to make genuine friends. Like we're in this loneliness epidemic. The COVID-19 pandemic sent us spiraling. It sent many of us into deep depression and anxiety and all the things. And it woke us up to the fact that many of us, we don't have real relationships. And how about this? Even in couples therapy, a lot of marriages didn't make it because the pandemic woke people up to the fact that their marriage wasn't real. Their marriage was a facade. It was not a real, genuine, loving, connected, close relationship. It was just a facade. It was just something that I guess looked good on the outside, but on the inside, it really wasn't real. It didn't feel good. So a lot of people's marriages didn't make it because they recognize, oh, wow, I don't have a real relationship. I don't have a real marriage. So we need people. We need friends. And how about this? Let me go here. You can live a happy, fulfilled life without a romantic partner. Like that's a whole thing. That's a real thing. You do not need to be romantically partnered to be happy and healthy and fulfilled and content. But what you do need is people. Okay? So hear me well on that. You do need people in your life. You do need to have genuine, loving relationships with people. And those people could just be friends. They could just be girlfriends, guy friends, your family relationships, your work colleagues. We need people. That's what makes the difference. So even if the relationship isn't romantic, we do need to have people that we hang out with, that we go out with, that we talk to, that we spend time with, that we can share our real selves with. We need people. And we've completely forgotten about that or gotten away from that. And now there's all this unspoken rules about women can't be friends with men. Men can't be friends with women. Men only see women for sexual access, which, like I said, every time I say it, it just makes me very, very sad. And men's worst nightmare is being friend zoned. That's their worst nightmare, is being put in the friend zone. And I'm like, wow, there are worse things to be than a person's friend. Like it just is so hard. It's heartbreaking. That's the worst thing in your mind is just being the friend of a woman. Now, here's what I'm going to say to the men. Should you, if let's say, you're interested in a woman romantically, and she doesn't feel that way about you or doesn't see that with you, and you all decide, okay, well, we're cool. We can keep talking and we can keep doing stuff or hanging out in groups or however that works. We're cool. We can keep being cool. I do want men to be careful because there are certain women out here that they are going to try to use you. They are going to try to get husband behavior, right? They're going to try to get husband behavior and boyfriend behavior, and you're not their husband or boyfriend. Yes, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell women. There are men out here who want wife behavior, girlfriend behavior, and they're not your boyfriend or your husband. I'm going to tell guys the same thing. So fellas, I don't want you to feel like you should be, coming over and cleaning her gutters and cutting her grass and taking her here and doing it. No, you really shouldn't. You should do what you want to do to the degree that you would a friend. Okay? I have guy friends. Sometimes I pay for them. Sometimes they pay for me. Sometimes we go Dutch. I've taken them to the airport. They've taken me to the airport, right? We've done things for each other. I've cooked food and brought my guy friend a plate. They've done stuff for me. But I want you to understand something. All of that is done relationally. It is not done transactionally. When I'm giving something or doing something, I'm not expecting anything from it. That is the difference. That's when y'all are getting used. The woman is asking you to do X, Y, Z and all this stuff, and you're doing it hoping that one day you will get a payoff. And you hope that that payoff will be sexual or romantic. That's the difference. Okay? So I want to warn you. I want you to be very careful that, look, the goal is that you will, you'll make sure that whatever it is you're doing with this person as a friend, that it is something you would do for a guy friend. It is just something that you will do for a friend or a family member. It is not in hopes of getting something back or getting sexual access or, getting some romantic opportunity. Because that's how me and my opposite sex friends, that's how we operate. It's very clear to us there is no sexual opportunity. Like the things we're doing out of the joy and love of our heart. If my friend cannot do it, they tell me no. I'm not able to do it. And that's what I want the guys to hear me well on. I think that you're doing the Mr. Nice Guy thing. I think that you're doing these things and you're pretending that, it's genuine when there is some transactional nature to it. You're doing it to get an opportunity romantically or sexually. No, I want you to genuinely do it from the love of your heart. And if you don't want to do it, I want you to say, no, you don't feel comfortable doing it. I've had plenty of people that have asked me to do things. I've had guy friends that have asked me to do things that I don't feel comfortable doing. And I tell them so. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And look, sometimes they'll say, well, is it because I'm a guy? And I might say, well, I don't give men money. So that is definitely because you're a man. I don't give men money. I don't feel comfortable giving men money. I wouldn't feel comfortable loaning a male friend of mine money. But if I'm being honest, I don't feel comfortable loaning women money. I don't feel comfortable loaning money. So, yes, we still have to have boundaries, right? And then the second thing I would say is if you're a guy and you're thinking, okay, but I'm attracted to this person. Okay, so maybe you need to make friends with people that you don't find attractive. Like, you ever think about that? There are men in the world, like, can I be real? There are men in the world that if they approach me for friendship and they were like, yeah, Anita's mad cool, let's be friends, I probably couldn't be friends with them because I would fall into a state of limerence. And if you don't know what that word means, limerence is a heightened infatuation, right? There's a heightened infatuation of a person. There is just a wanting to be with them romantically and romanticizing them, but it is not reciprocal, okay? It is unrequited. So yes, I probably couldn't be friends with those particular men because I would fall into a limerent state where every time we talked on the phone or spent time together, my little feelings would be like, well, one day, and he's like, no, never. So yeah, I might have to pass on a friendship with someone that I had a deep attraction to, a deep, like, man, ooh, I would love for that to be my man. I probably would have to say no. But can I be real, y'all? 90% of the men out here in the world, I don't like that. Like, I really don't. I don't be feeling like that. And maybe I'm picky. Maybe I don't know what it is. But 90% of the men walking the face of this earth, I do not find romantically or sexually attractive. So that's easy for me to be friends with a man. Maybe men can't say the same about women, right? But I would say, okay, but find women that you don't find like, oh my gosh, I'm so attracted to her. Oh my God, like you don't fall into a limerent state with. Okay, there's plenty of women out here that you may say, yeah, no, I don't want her to be my woman, but she's cool. She's cool and she can bring value into my life. Like, be friends with those women. But y'all really underestimate, a lot of people, y'all underestimate the value of a true friend. And it's wild to me that you would eliminate half of the population. Like if you're one of these people that don't believe men and women can be friends, you've eliminated half the population of people that could be a genuine friend to you, that could be a real friend to you. You've eliminated half of the population. That's crazy to me. Like, do you know how hard it is to come by a genuine friend? Real hard. So I'm going to be real with y'all. I need all the genuine, real friends I can get. So if it comes in the body of a man, if it comes in the body of a woman, and that person brings value to my life, that person brings wisdom, they bring calm, they bring fun, they bring all the good stuff. Like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it because right now, real genuine friendship is hard to come by. So I've been encouraging men and women for the longest time to make friends. Make friends with people. Like, be genuine in your pursuit of friendship. And let's stop acting like that's a horrible thing. That, oh my God, if you're a man and a woman wants to be a friend, a genuine friend, not someone that's using you, not someone that's trying to get you to do all this stuff, just a genuine friend to you. Like, why do we act like that's the worst thing in the world? Oh, if I ain't got access to her vagina, that's so horrible. Oh my God. Like, come on. That's so childish. That's very, very childish. Like, we have to grow up. We have to be emotionally mature. And of course, like I said, you're going to have boundaries. You're going to have boundaries with these opposite. You're going to have boundaries with all your friends. How about that? You're not just going to have boundaries with your opposite sex friends. All your friends need boundaries. If you get into a relationship, if you get married, I've already told my guy friends, like, this is what it's going to be. This is what it is now. And this is what it's going to step up to when I find my husband. So there's nothing for you to be shocked at. You don't need to be surprised. Oh, Anita's not, meet me at the mall. No, because I have a husband now. You're welcome to come over to our game night. You're welcome to come to group dinners and group bowling nights out and all that. But no, you and I won't be hanging out alone because now I have a husband. And you'll be meeting him and we'll be doing things together as a group. We'll be doing, double dating and things of that nature. But yeah, maybe it's me. Y'all help me out. Why can men and women not be friends? And again, if it's about attraction, why can't you just find someone you don't like that? Like you're not attracted to. And fellas, there are a lot of women out here that y'all have told me like, nah, I'm good. Okay, but what other value can she bring? Like if you don't want her romantically and you don't want to have sex with her, can she bring other value into your life? Like what other value could she bring to you as a man, as a person? That's my question. That's the question I want answered. Because right now we're acting like we have no other value to each other than sexual or romantic. And I know that's not true. That is not true. As someone who has female friends and male friends, All of my friends add value. I wouldn't be friends with them if they didn't. So I just don't understand when people, go off on these rants, and then these red pill guys, my woman can't have any guy friends. That's a big red flag. She better not have any guy friends. Like, what? So I had a male roommate in college, y'all, that I'm still friends with to this day. He's married, he has kids, but what? Like, we have boundaries. We have boundaries. I've met his wife, I've met his kids, like, we have boundaries. But it's that type of stuff that I just don't understand. I'm trying to understand what keeps us from recognizing value in people and saying, I need a friend. I need someone that I can process tough stuff, good stuff. Someone that I can share life's ups and downs. Someone that is actually there to witness my life. You do know that's why we do relationships. We do relationships because we have needs that we want to be met by other people, but we also do relationships because we want people to witness our life. We want people to share in our life and all the things that we're doing in our life. We want people to witness that. We want people to be a part of that. And when life is hard, doing it with other people makes it easier. That's why we have friends. That's why we have people in our life. And when life is great, we have other people there to share in our happiness. That's why when we have weddings, we invite people. When we have funerals, we invite people. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. What is going on out here in the world that we no longer value the opposite sex outside of romance or sexual access? That is so weird to me. I'm trying to make sense of it. And then, God forbid, if I have guy friends, people assume we're doing something. Oh, well, I mean, are you sleeping with him? No, I'm not. So let me know if it's just me. Let me know if you have female friends, if you're a guy, if you have male friends and you're a girl. Let me know what those friendships are like. Let me know what boundaries you have around those friendships. Or if you're a person who's like, oh no, I don't have any female friends. I don't have any male friends. And I don't want to be in the friend zone. I want your genuine thoughts about this, because maybe it's me, but I know a good friend is hard to find. A good, genuine, someone who's going to be there through the ups and downs and all the things. Those people are hard to find. And I've lost a lot of friendships over the years over silly stuff, dumb stuff. And yet, I had to allow that to happen, because we can't keep people in our lives that don't want to be there, or we can't hold people hostage. Sometimes friendships end. Sometimes we grow apart or grow in different directions, and the people aren't doing enough to stay connected. But here's the thing I'm going to tell you that I know for certain. As you become an adult, those genuine, true friendships, they're harder and harder to come by. Friends are harder and harder to make. So can I be real? As you get older, you need friends. You're going to need your friends. Life is going to get harder and harder and more complicated. You're going to go through all kind of life changes. You're going to see people start to die, start to fall off. You're going to see people divorce. You're going to see people's kids grow up and leave home. You're going to have health issues. You're going to need those friends. And like I said, I'll take them in whatever form they come in. I'll take them in black body, white body. I'll take them in Hispanic body, Indian body, Asian body. I'll take them in a male body, female body. I'll take them in a tall body, short body, big body, small body. Like, I just need genuine friends. I just need genuine, real friends. I think everybody does. And honestly, right now, If you have a mindset where you just super picky about who can be, all this stuff and oh, it can't be a man, it can't be a woman, it can't be a white person or a Hispanic person or Indian person or a black person, you are really missing out. You are really missing out. A lot of y'all can't afford to be picky like that. Like, you suffering in silence. So that's it. That's the message. I just wanted to come on and talk about that. I hope you all are having a great Sunday. I'm finally at home. And we are going to be having Skool tomorrow, our Zoom meeting. If you'd like a free 30-day trial of Skool, I want you to email me at info@betterlovemovement.com. I will send you an invitation to your email, and you'll click that link and you'll go in and you'll get signed up, and you get to see what the inside of Skool is like and what we talk about and the people there and all that good stuff. So please, please consider joining Skool for 30 days just so you can see what it's like. And send me that email at info@betterlovemovement.com, and I will send you an invite. All right. I hope you all have a great rest of your Easter Sunday. It's gorgeous. It's supposed to be gorgeous the next 5 days. So I'm about to take my dog to the dog park and then probably go on a bike ride. But hopefully I will see you in Skool. I hope you have a great Saturday. And as always, stay open to love.